What? I'm awake. Is it October already? All right. I'm up. Okay, so hey everybody, welcome back to the... Wait a minute, something's not right. Oh, crap, you're not supposed to be able to see the green screen. Welcome to The Right Way, Season 7, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Garrett K. Jones. The season opener is always the point where I lay out what I hope my viewers and subscribers will expect to see throughout the course of the season. I've been putting together a great series of guest interviews and guest hosts, and I'm really excited to tell you all about what I've got lined up. Now, before I do that, check out this promo for an awesome podcast. Are you still a fan of Star Wars? Well, good on you for being a loyal and devoted fanboy or girl. Since you're still a part of the fandom, make sure that you subscribe and listen to the War of the Stars podcast, an independently produced Star Wars podcast devoted to talking about the saga and its lore and everything in between. New episodes are produced each week and are released on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, thanks in part from our network connection with Geek News Now. Remember, this isn't just your Star Wars, this isn't just my Star Wars, this is our Star Wars. First up, I wanted to discuss past content. If you missed last season's finale episode featuring the second annual Righties Awards, you can find that video right up here by clicking the card above my head. That episode, as well as the Season 5 finale, are now featured in their very own playlist called The Righties. And speaking of playlists, as is my habit, I hide away the playlist for previous seasons. In this case, I'm specifically hiding the playlist for Season 4. Season 5 and Season 6 will still be available, and you can find all of those past episodes from the first 4 seasons under the tab for all of my videos. Second, let's turn our attention to new past content. I'm bringing back a segment I haven't had on the show for more than 2 years. That segment is called Forming Fantasy. Now, the last episode of this segment was released on May 21st, 2022, and it was actually one of my first writing workshops. This one was focused on the topic of monomyths and how they have been adapted over time. Most of the rest of those segments focused on the development of my fantasy elements that went into my book series, The Archives of Async Ran. I'm actually going to pivot on this, and I'm going to start doing a revamped version of this segment, and I'm calling it Finding Fiction, where I take a look at books and movies and TV shows, and I provide reviews on that content. The Finding Fiction content will be featured exclusively on my Patreon site. I'll come back to that in a moment. Third, let's take a look at what to expect as far as new content coming at you in Season 7. So obviously, this is the season premiere. We have all of the favorite segments making their return. Just like with the last couple of seasons, the Top 10 segment will be presented by my invited guest hosts. Many of the guest hosts will be returning authors interviewed over the course of the 6th season. And I'm doing something a little different with Creator's Corner. The last 6 seasons, I've provided the writing tips for the segment, but I decided I wanted to open it up to returning guests. Some of the authors I've invited to return will provide their book recommendations, others will provide creative writing tips, and a small few will be providing both. Those returning authors guest hosting for both segments have the opportunity to provide their content consecutively, meaning in the same episode, while others will present in non-consecutive episodes. Of course, The Right Way wouldn't be complete without some serious author awareness interviews. I've lined up a fantastic selection of authors. Some are returning to the show, while most are authors I've recently connected with or have been authors that I've been trying to get slated for an interview for the first time. I have 9 amazing monthly interviews with 4 equally awesome conversations for the annual interview marathon set for April. As always, I will continue with the monthly live streams each month in between the regular monthly episodes. Many of these will be focused on sharing my writing workshops as much as I possibly can. And for those of you, okay, I'll be honest, all of you who aren't able to make it in person, those that won't be focused on the writing workshops will be content that I've decided to cover at the time of the live stream. Now, trust me, it will be way more focused and planned out, I promise. But you know what? I've got another promo for you, so I'll be right back. A great enemy, the Archmagus Menenius, has been vanquished, and his campaign of terror and death has been thwarted. From the ashes of his reign, Isink Ran, the 5 kingdoms, have enjoyed an unprecedented era of peace as a unified nation. But a shadow from the darkest recesses of Isink Ran's violent past threatens to destroy everything as Menenius' hidden heirs rise up to complete their father's work and rekindle his legacy. But Isink Ran is not without protectors. 3 individuals, a ranger with an ancient connection to the dragons, a priest in training, and a princess mage, rise up to meet their calling and face the heirs of Menenius. So you remember that time when I said I would come back to my Patreon site?
I'll come back to that in a moment.
Well, now we are going to talk about Patreon. So on Patreon, I have 3 support tiers to choose from. Each one comes with some pretty sweet perks. So let's break this down. The original tier names were the Princess Mage, Dragon Warrior, and Guardian of the Heavens. I'm changing the names of the tiers to fit more in line with the more literary themes of The Right Way. Starting off, we have the Scribbler tier, which takes the place of the Princess Mage, and that's only going to run you $1 per month. And that gets you 1 week's early access to the unedited, uncut author awareness interviews for that month. The next tier up is the Wordsmith tier, which takes the place of the Dragon Warrior. This tier runs $3 per month, and these supporters not only get that early access to the uncut author interviews, they also get 1 week's early access to the monthly Creators Corner segment before anybody else does. Lastly, there's the Novelist tier, replacing the Guardian of the Heavens, which runs for $5 per month. For that $5, supporters get the 1 week early access to the uncut interviews and the 1 week early access to the Creators Corner segments. Remember when I said my Finding Fiction videos were going to be on Patreon?
The Finding Fiction content will be featured exclusively on my Patreon site.
Well, the Novelist tier supporters also get that sweet, sweet access to my Finding Fiction segments from day 1. There are other ways for supporters to help the channel grow. Obviously, liking and subscribing and sharing my video content is super helpful, especially against the evil algorithm that YouTube likes to apply to everything. But if paying for a regular monthly charge on Patreon is too much for you, you're more than welcome to send a one-time donation through Cash App at $GKJ Publishing, or you can also pick up some cool merch on my shop on Teespring. In my shop, you'll find shirts, mugs, hats, posters, and all sorts of other cool stuff. Not only that, every episode is going to feature a promo code for 15% off. You can find this popping up randomly in the episode, and you'll know it's the promo code because it shows up followed by a hashtag symbol. Now, before we wrap up, I do want to share with you what to expect regarding the schedule of episodes between now and the end of 2024 and the calendar year. The next episode, the first official Season 7 live stream, drops next week. I know that I already did a live stream last week for the writing workshop, but I wanted to make sure that we were staying on track and I didn't necessarily want to waste a week. So next week, October 19th, will be in fact one of those non-writing workshop live stream official episodes. Then the week after that, October 26th, will be the full monthly episode featuring all 3 of the main segments. There will be no break as I jump right into the November live stream on Saturday, November 2nd, which will cover my writing workshop for that month, and then the November monthly episode will drop on Saturday, November 9th. Now, while I'll be out of town for a wedding in beautiful Meridian, Idaho, I'll still make sure to connect on social media to promote the heck out of all 3 regular segments. I will be on break for the next few weeks after that to prep, and that takes us right into December. Kind of like this month, there will be 3 episodes right in a row. The holiday preview drops on December 7th. The December live stream drops 1 week later on the 14th. And then, as an early Christmas present, the regular monthly episode will be airing on December 1st, just 4 days until Christmas. Just as I did all throughout Season 6, I will begin airing each individual segment from the monthly episodes starting the Wednesday after the full episode airs. That following Wednesday, we'll have the Top 10 segment. That next day, Thursday, we'll have the individual author awareness segment. And then that next Friday, we'll have the individual creator's corner segment. I like to continue this. That way I can produce a little bit more content and shorten it down for anybody who wants to watch segments without having to watch the entire full episode. So that's it. That is what to expect moving through Season 7, at least for now, as we are closing out 2024 and moving into 2025. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a like and make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications when new content becomes available on the channel. As mentioned, you can support the channel through one of 3 support tiers on Patreon, leaving a donation on Cash App, or picking up merch from my store on Teespring. Be sure to tune in for next week's official Season 7 live stream. See you then.